Good morning and welcome to How to Live on LinkedIn Masterclass. I can see there's about 30 or 40 of you already here, which is really, really exciting. So thank you so much for joining this masterclass today. If you can hear me, let me know in the comments that I'm coming through loud and clear. It's really, really difficult to know what the connectivity is like. So fingers crossed the tech holds up for the rest of the day. I can see your comments coming through now, which is awesome. Actually, incidentally, anyone that watches my LinkedIn lives will know that I do that at the beginning of my lives, and it's something I'll go into a bit more detail about later on. But the reason I ask everyone to let me know that I'm coming through loud and clear is because when you're going live on LinkedIn, you cannot see whether or not you've gone through loud and clear. So getting people to let you know that they can hear you and get involved in the initial conversation as well is the best way to make sure that I'm coming through to you. So welcome Reem, welcome Paula, Diego, Sean, Peter. Thank you all so much for being here. Someone just quickly asked if this is going to be recorded. I believe a recording of this is going to be coming out to you immediately after this session. So if you're making lots of notes, please do. But just in case you miss anything, there will be a recording coming out to you. So as the name of this masterclass would indicate, today we're going to be talking about how to go live on LinkedIn. So I've had LinkedIn Live since I think December last year, and I was approved almost immediately. And I believe that was because back then pretty much no one had LinkedIn Live. It wasn't really a thing. So getting approved was really quick, and I'd already been doing videos before. So there was really no reason for LinkedIn not to give it to me. But what I'm going to cover today to make sure that you guys are empowered to be able to go live on LinkedIn yourself is how to apply and get approved. So I'm going to talk to you about all the hacks that you can use, the things that you need to be doing, what happens if you've been denied, like hands up anyone who's been denied. If you've been denied LinkedIn Live, let me know in the comments. Hopefully this is going to be helpful for you. And if you have gone live on LinkedIn as well, let me know in the poll, like, if you've ever gone live before, give me a hell yes. If you want to go live, but you're hoping that you can learn a little bit out of this masterclass, let me know, because that's really valuable information to help do more masterclasses like this, and obviously to support each other. So we're going to be talking about applying for LinkedIn Live, getting approved for LinkedIn Live, what to do if you've been denied for LinkedIn Live. We're then going to move on to how you guys pick your idea. Like, what is your theme? What are you going to be going live about? We're then going to talk about how you can pick a date and talking about the agenda of what you're going to be talking about in those lives. We're then going to be talking about promoting those lives and how to get as many eyeballs on that live as humanly possible, and about time, about consistency, and then also about monetizing those lives, right? So most people on this platform, on this live today, I hope, want to make money out of going live on LinkedIn. So I hope I can give you all the tips and tricks today to help you kind of overcome those blockers that you're going through at the moment, get approved, go live, because honest to God, it was the best decision I've made this year aside from launching Klowt. We have won tens of thousands of pounds worth of business off going live just simply for 1 hour a week. So if I can help you guys do the same that we've done, and hopefully better than we've done, then that is a job well done for me. So first off, let's talk about applying for LinkedIn. So for those of you that haven't applied for LinkedIn yet, let's just address that so you guys know what to expect when you go into the application process. So when you apply to go LinkedIn, which you have to, you can't simply just plug in and just go live. You have to apply to be approved to go live on LinkedIn. There are a few things that they will ask you in the application form. Initially, they will ask you how many followers you have, what your connection base is. They will ask you what you want to talk about. And they will typically ask you, and I appreciate I've only recently looked at this, it may have changed in the last week or so, but I don't think it has. They will ask you what other lives you have done. So aside from like the general stuff about your name and all that kind of things, these are the 3 questions that you really need to like back up with like fact and come to it correct in order to make sure that you're approved for LinkedIn Live. So the first thing is how many followers you have. Now, don't get put off by this. If you want to go live and you've only got 1,000 followers, or you want to go live and you've only got 500, no problem. That is not a huge issue. What they are looking for, however, is people who want to come to the platform and consistently talk about valuable things that will keep other people on the LinkedIn platform. So the question they ask is, what do you want to talk about? So in this box, you need to be telling them very specifically what you want to be talking about, and it needs to be valuable, and it needs to be something that's going to be giving back to your ideal customer community. So for example, my LinkedIn lives are how to build your personal brand and personal branding Q&A and LinkedIn Hacks Live. And that's what I consistently talk about. And that is great for LinkedIn, number one, because I'm boosting them up. But number two, I'm giving back to the community, and it's about a topic that people really want to know about. They all want to build their personal brand. And so I'm adding valuable content to the ecosystem on LinkedIn. And that is a huge bonus for LinkedIn. So they will probably approve you if you're talking about something that other people want to know about. And then the third question they ask you is, have you gone live before? Now, having gone live before on a Facebook or a YouTube or even an Instagram is hugely beneficial in backing up your application to go live on LinkedIn. And the reason that is they want to have professionals going live on LinkedIn, even if you're not professional. I'd never gone live before, just FYI. But they want to have professionals going live on LinkedIn. They want to have people who are going to know how to come up, show up, come correct, and add really good value. So they want to be able to see what you've done previously in a live capacity, not just in a native video capacity. Although, and just to kind of double down on that, the other thing, that those are the three questions they ask you: how many followers do you have? What are you going to talk about? And have you done a live before? The thing that they don't ask you, and that is absolutely critical to getting your application approved, is posting native video content. Now, what I mean by posting native video content is you need to be posting videos up directly to LinkedIn, not sharing videos that you've posted on YouTube or sharing videos with a link to your website. It has to be uploaded natively to LinkedIn. And the reason that's important is, number one, LinkedIn hates links, right? If you guys have come to my lives before, you know I talk all the time, don't put links in your post, because LinkedIn wants to keep people on the platform. And if you put links in your post, you're trying to take people off the platform. And pretty much every other social media page is the same. Instagram's the same, etc. So they want to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So don't do that. But the second thing is, with posting native video before you apply or straight after you apply, you're showing LinkedIn that you're serious about doing video, and you're not just going to apply for LinkedIn Live and then do nothing with it. They want people to do something with their LinkedIn Live. So hands up if you're thinking of, I can see a question there from Sean saying, is delivering training online good enough? Yes, it is, Sean. Is anyone else wanting to deliver online training as part of their LinkedIn Live? Is this what you want to do? This is an excellent example of what a good LinkedIn Live could be. So I do a Q&A. You could do a hacks live. There's a guy called Andrew McCaskill who does a live today, actually, in an hour and 10 minutes. And he does a job search hacks live. So he is serving his ideal customers. And I'm serving, I'd like to think, my ideal customers by teaching you guys how to go live on LinkedIn, which plays in really nicely to how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, which is what I do for a living. So it's really important that when you're showing up on your live, you're delivering consistent value, and training is a great way of doing that. Particularly in an hour slot or a 45-minute slot, because you can just smash out those hacks really, really quickly and get people involved really, really quickly. So that's how to apply. And that's how to get approved. So what do you do if you've applied and you've been denied? Hand up in the comments, or, let me know in the comments if you've been denied for LinkedIn Live. If you've been denied for LinkedIn Live, don't stress. Or even if you've applied for LinkedIn Live and you've not heard anything back, don't stress. This doesn't mean that you're never going to get it. It simply means that you've not got it now. So if you've been applied and you've been denied, apply again, continue applying again until you're approved. But bolster those applications with other live streams. So in the meantime, why don't you start streaming into YouTube? And you can do that from the platform I'm about to show you shortly. So stream into YouTube. And so you can bolster up your application, but start posting native video into your feed. Start posting native video, because what will happen is LinkedIn goes, okay, they've improved their game and we will approve your application. Every single person that I've worked with who's been denied the first time, after adding native video to their LinkedIn channel and reapplying, has been approved the second time. So that is really important, that you're showing up consistently with native video content on LinkedIn in order to make sure that you get that approval if you've been denied. If you've applied and you've not heard anything back, I'm just going to quickly answer this question because I think Sophie's asked this a few times. If you define the application form, Sophie, if you just Google LinkedIn Live application, I think it's the second or third result on Google. And if anyone wants to get that form, I'd be happy to share the link with you after this live. I'll make sure when we send out the email to everyone that we share the link in there if you've not already applied for LinkedIn. So what do you do if you've applied and it's been like 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks and you've not heard anything back, which I know is the reality for so many people? What you need to be doing if you've not heard anything back is apply again. I know it sounds really counterproductive, but there is such a traffic jam of people applying right now that it's very likely that you're not going to get anywhere if you just wait and see what they're going to do with it. So apply again, and in the meantime start uploading native video, and that should really bolster your application. Again, there's someone else I'm working with who had the same thing. They've been waiting 6 weeks to be approved, and I was like, why on earth are you waiting 6 weeks? Apply again. And they did, and then they were approved not long after. So I think it's really, really important that you just chase those things up, because if you call or you get in touch with LinkedIn Live's if you call or get in touch with LinkedIn Live support team, they won't be able to tell you anything. They'll go, sorry, we don't know when you're going to get approved. So don't waste your time doing that. Just keep applying until you get approved, and make sure you're doing the native video is like massively important. So in fact, you know what I'll do now? I will answer some of your questions because there are a few questions coming in here, and this really is interactive. I want you guys to ask as many questions as you possibly can. This is exclusively about live. So if you normally have any questions that you wanted to ask on the personal branding Q&A and LinkedIn Hacks live that I do on Wednesdays, but you didn't feel like it was appropriate, ask it now. This is just about live. I want to make sure you get all your questions answered. Jay, do you recommend going live when discussing sensitive topics around mental health? So this is a really great question, Jay. And actually, I'm going to move after these few questions into how to figure out what your topic's going to be. So that will play really nicely into this question. I think it's important that you stay true to whatever it is that you are comfortable in talking about and you are confident in talking about. Because when you go live, and like it always happens to me, although I'm a little bit more comfortable with it now, you inevitably get an incredible amount of nerves when you first hit broadcast. And so you have to have an amount of confidence and you have to have an amount of purpose in what you're talking about to be able to push through that adrenaline and deliver it with clarity. So speaking about things that you're passionate about, that you're really confident in, I think is the number one thing. The second thing is if I was going to be talking about mental health, I would play that into a wider discussion, because I feel like mental health in its own is very niche, which is great, but you're only going to attract kind of one-off customers to your live for that type of topic. So for example, if your live is about mental health and someone might be feeling like pretty crap at the moment, they might turn up to your live 1 or 2 times, and then when they feel a little bit better, or perhaps it's not working for them, they then go away and they never come back. You want to build lives that have got serious lifetime value. So for you, instead of doing it around mental health, why don't you do it around peak performance? Or why don't you do it around living your best life? Or why don't you do it around bringing your best self to your profession and your personal life? Something like that, where you can actually kind of hammer in to mental health as part of your broader topics, which I'll go into in a bit more depth in a minute, how you do that. But I would do it as a big overarching one first, and then you can niche down with subtopics on each individual live. But I really think it's important that you pick an overarching topic that you're confident and you feel purposeful about. Ben, thank you so much for your question. Does uploading short corporate style videos count to uploading native video, or do they need to be talking? No, it doesn't matter what style video they are, Ben. You just need to make sure that it's native. However, I would say it's much more beneficial when applying for LinkedIn Live that you actually start uploading videos of yourself, because it is going to be yourself that's going live. So why don't you mix it up, Ben? Why don't you do a little bit of yourself talking to camera and doing some of this sort of Q&A style stuff, or going, right, here's my top 5 tips to do this, or here's how to do that. How-to guides do exceptionally well on video on LinkedIn. So do a couple of those and then chuck in some of your corporate videos at the same time. But you've got to remember, this is a members first platform, so it's people to people. So corporate videos quite often don't land very well because people aren't here to look at corporate videos. They're here to look at you, Ben. They want to see your face and hear your thoughts. and hear what you have to say about things. Mark Hopkins, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to answer this question as well. I think it's a lot of people that will want to know the answers. Do you have to be LinkedIn Live, or could you use a YouTube account or use YouTube in the meantime before you get LinkedIn Live? Yes, Mark. The best thing about what I use, which is StreamYard, and I'm actually, during this session today, I'm actually going to take you all live. So I'm going to talk you through the exact process you have to go through to make sure that you connect your LinkedIn to your streaming provider. And we're actually going to go live on my LinkedIn channel, so you can see exactly what it looks like to go live and see exactly what you'd be seeing if you were going live on LinkedIn. So hopefully that will help. But part of StreamYard, which is what I use, Mark, you can actually stream to multiple different channels at the same time, one of which can be YouTube. So why don't you get started with a YouTube account and start streaming live there? The only thing with that is you need to make sure that you've got enough people coming to your YouTube account if you want to have any kind of Q&A discussion. So absolutely, if you want to go live on LinkedIn, you're thinking of bolstering up your account, go on YouTube first. I think that's a really good play, and it will help you make sure that your application is definitely approved. This is a really good question as well from Catherine. We'll spend about 5 more minutes answering questions, guys, and then I'm going to dive into your idea, how to theme your Q&As, how to theme your lives, and then picking a date, promoting them, etc. Question, I don't want to go live until Jan 21. Should I apply now? Does the approval expire if I... No, absolutely. So I'll read the full question again. I know I get ahead of myself. I don't want to go live until Jan 21. Should I apply now? Does the approval expire if I don't go live in a certain time after being approved? No, it doesn't expire, Catherine. I would apply now. I guarantee you it will take about 6 weeks for you to be approved. So I think it's really important that if you want to go live in Jan, that you need to get your application in this minute. In fact, as soon as this live's finished, make sure you're going and applying. Apply everything that you've learned from this masterclass and push it straight into a application. It doesn't expire. I got approved in December last year, and I didn't go live until August this year. So it was just sitting there waiting for me to go live. Once you're approved, it's there then ready for you to rock and roll with. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. This is another great question from Chris. Hey, Amelia, when you go live, do you get a report of who has attended afterwards? No, you don't. And actually, this is the incredibly frustrating thing about LinkedIn Live. Because it's a external streaming provider, I don't actually know how many people are on my lives when I go live. So what I do is I either have the live up on my phone at the same time, so I can actually see in real time how many people are live, or I have my amazing marketing assistant, Danielle, watch it at the same time. So she's watching it while I'm delivering it, and she tells me what the peak of the attendees was. So she'll send me a message saying, oh, we had 190 today, or we had 201, or we had 160, whatever it is. She'll let me know, but you don't actually know specifically who watched it. Unless they commented or liked it. And then you can obviously see the comments and likes in your feed, because once you've gone live and it's finished being live, it sits on your LinkedIn page or your LinkedIn feed like a native video. So you are able to go back, much like with a post, and see who's liked and commented on your post. And just one thing on that, guys, when you go live and after it's gone live and you've had a smashing great time, afterwards go back and reply to the comments in your that people have left. So case in point today, like all you guys are leaving me amazing questions and amazing comments here, but I, unfortunately, because this is through Demio and not through LinkedIn Live, I can't actually go into my LinkedIn now and reply to all your comments. But when you guys go live on LinkedIn, after you've gone live, go back into the live and reply to everyone, at least with a thanks for joining me, etc., etc. Because when that happens, you're basically pulling your live as a native static video back into your followers' feeds. And that, number one, it's polite to say thank you for people for joining, but number two, you're going to help drive engagement more to that live as an evergreen video, rather than just being like a one-off thing that you did once and nothing ever happens with it. And also the beauty of working with StreamYard, which is the platform that I use, is that actually if you use the paid version, and you don't need to pay for it initially, guys, you can have up to 6 guests completely free. You can stream completely free, which is amazing. I think it's an incredible product. When you pay for it, you can actually download your live streams, and you could then chop those up and turn those into native video that you then post at other points during the week. So I think it's an incredibly good platform for doing this. We'll probably do one more question, guys, and then I'll move into how to pick your idea and then how to filter that down into kind of sub themes on your on your thing. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by reading all your questions. Here's one, and I think this has been asked a few times, so I'll answer it. Aidan, thanks for joining. Can you go live on LinkedIn with a split screen, i.e. interview meeting with one other? Yeah. I think you can with a split screen. So actually there's a couple of people that are quite well known for going lives, and they have two screens. They'll be going live on one screen with a webcam, and then they'll have the other screen where they can see what's happening. I don't do that. I just literally go live on my laptop, and then sometimes I have the live on my phone at the same time. But honestly, StreamYard is so easy to function. You don't really need to have two. The only reason I would say have two is if you want to know your numbers, but you can just get one of your friends to watch it and let them know what the peak was, or get one of your colleagues to watch it and know what the peak was. And that's all you really need to know about that. Okay, so we've done apply, we've done approve, we've done what to do if you've been denied, we've done how to bolster your application if it's been taking 6 weeks to get approved, which is the average now, guys. Everyone I'm speaking to is like, I've applied 6 weeks ago and I haven't heard anything back. So if you want to apply for it, make sure you apply for it now. So the next thing I want to talk about is your idea. So what are you going to talk about with your live? Like what's your topic? What's the 411? What are people going to come to you to talk about? What do they want to learn from you? So I would say there's a number of ways to pick this. Number one, as I said earlier to Jay, make sure it's something you're confident in, and make sure it's something you feel very purposeful about, because when you feel confident and purposeful about what it is that you're talking about, it just kind of rolls out, and you don't have to worry too much. Aside from the nerves, you don't have to worry too much about what you're going to say, because it's something that you talk about all the time. So that would be number one, is think about something you're really confident, and think about something you're really passionate about. And then the second thing I would say is talk about something that you want to be known for, right? So I want to be known for personal branding. So my Q&A on a Wednesday is around personal branding, right? So that's my top line idea. And that's what I talk about every single week. So I imagine many of you guys that are on this masterclass right now come to those lives every single week because you want to learn about personal branding. So that is my top lining theme, right? So have a think about what you want to talk about as a top lining theme. It might be what you do. So for example, if you're a recruiter and you're recruiting into the SaaS ecosystem, you might want to talk about how to get a job in SaaS, or you might want to talk about how to get promoted in SaaS, or you want to talk about I don't know, SaaS job hacks or something like that. How to get your first job in SaaS if you're a junior kind of level recruiter who's placing SDRs and sales representatives and that type of thing. That could be your overarching theme of your live, right? The job hack type thing, the LinkedIn hack type thing. And then the subsection, so your first live could be just a general Q&A. Welcome to my, how to get your first job in SaaS live. Let's just do a general Q&A. The second live that you do the week later could be around how to gear up your CV and getting your CV in line to make sure you're going to land that job role. The third live that you could do could be around who is hiring the most in SaaS right now. Like what industries are really hammering home on the hiring. The fourth live, so 4 weeks later, we've launched, we're 4 weeks down the line. The fourth live you could do could be around interview questions and how to prep to interview with a sales director in a SaaS business. So you see how I've kind of worked there with an overarching theme of getting a job in SaaS, and individually each single live addresses a very specific issue within that remit. And that's what I do with mine every week. So I have personal branding Q&A and LinkedIn's hacks live, and every week we talk about one topic. So this week it was around content creation and where to get content ideas from. The week before it was about converting attention, so how to generate more sales on LinkedIn. The week before that I think was a live that I did with a guest, which was Belinda Agnew, and she's a B2B marketing agency owner. So we're talking about how to team personal branding with company branding. So it's all around personal branding. They're just very specific topics. So let us know in the comments what you're thinking of doing your live about. It'd be really interesting to see what the kind of diversity of thought is here and what people are really going to be sharing with their audiences. I think that's very exciting. So you've got your top line idea. You've now gone, right, this is what I want to be talking about. This is what I want to be known for. It's now time to pick a date and pick a time. and figure out what it is, when are you going to be showing up to the platform? So I go live every Wednesday at 12:15. That doesn't change. Every single week, Wednesday at 12:15, I go live. And there's a reason why it's important that you're consistent with your lives and you show up at the same time every single week. And that's because you want to build a community of people around you, right? So if you build a community of people around you, what happens is they tell all their friends to come and join the live because it was really fantastic. They learned this great thing the other day, and then you grow and grow and grow. And that will help grow your business, that will help grow your engagement, and that will help grow your follower count as well. So it's really important that you show up every single week at the same time, same day, so people know that they can come and find you at that time on that day every single week, and show up and learn from you. They want to learn from your knowledge that you have to share. So that's the first thing, is picking a day. If I were you, I would pick a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday. People very rarely, I think, will get involved with webinars or anything like that on Friday or Monday, because they're either turned off with work on Friday and they're looking forward to going home and having a drink, or on Monday they've got too much to worry about, and attending a live would just be too much for them to think about. So think about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then think about the time zone that you're in. Like, when are people most likely going to tune in? It's normally between 11 and 2. So 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. are the best times to go live, because that typically straddles people's lunch hours. And that's normally when you get a kind of spike in engagement with your lives. My lives are 12:15 on Wednesday, every Wednesday. And that's because it's bang on people's lunch break typically. And that seems to be where I'm scooping up all the kind of engagement from people. So that, I think, is really important, is your timing and your date and your consistency. And then what I'd like to do now is I'll answer a few more questions. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm actually going to go live. I'm going to show you this exact steps that I take every single live, to give you a feel and a flavor for what it's like. Like, how do you do it? What does it look like? All this kind of stuff. So giving you a bit of familiarity on what it will look like when you go live, I think, is really, really important. Let's have a look at this question here. I think that this is quite an interesting thing. Ali, I applied twice, and a second time a couple of weeks ago I was approved in less than 24 hours. So maybe it shows you're keen. I actually think that's bang on, Ali. Like, all the people that I've spoken to have waited weeks and weeks and weeks and heard nothing back. I've gone, right, apply again, start posting video content, and they've all been approved within a week or two after doing that. So if you have been denied or you are still waiting, make sure you apply again. Like, let's not lose out on opportunities here just because we're waiting for other people to come back to us. Jacob, okay, cool. I'll double down on this. I think Aiden meant having 2 people going live side by side in one video window. Is that possible? Yes, it is. So with StreamYard, which I'm about to show you, you can have up to 6 people as guests in the same stream. If you are using the free version. If you're using the paid version, I think it's like a ridiculous amount of people. But my advice would always be never have more than 4 total, so you plus 3. And the reason that is because it's trying to control the conversation and stop people from talking over each other is really difficult. So if you have more than 4 people, it ends up becoming this kind of batting of discussion. So have guests, definitely. You can have up to 6 in the free version of StreamYard. And it's very, very easy. All you do is send them an invite, they join, you then add them in, take them out, whatever you want to do. But I will show you all those things when we go into StreamYard in a minute. If you have any questions, guys, this is a great opportunity to get them in before we go into actually how you go live on LinkedIn. I think it would be really powerful to get a big part of those questions out in the open now, so that when we go into the live stream, you guys can see exactly how it all works. This is an interesting question from Samantha. Samantha, thanks for joining us. Is procurement a good topic? Wish to talk about current trends and news, perhaps interviewing influencers in the space. P.S. I like your naughty elf on. Oh, well spotted, Samantha. Yes, we've got Figgy and Ziggy. As you probably noticed, I'm in a very pink room today. I'm in my daughter's bedroom because we're having work done to my little office nook upstairs. So unfortunately, I'm not able to film from there today. So I'm in my daughter's bedroom. We do have Mr. Figgy and Mr. Ziggy the elf, who are being very naughty on my swan. Is procurement a good topic? Wish to talk about current trends, news, perhaps interviewing influencers in that space? Brilliant. Yes, I think if that's who you sell to, if that's your customer and that's who's going to buy from you, and that's the community that you want to build, talk about it. But just make sure it's coming from an angle that solves the problem of the customers rather than the solution that you're giving them. I think the biggest problem with lots of people's lives, if they go, oh, I work in HR. Everyone wants to know about HR, but actually they don't want to know about HR. What they want to know about is specific legal things, how to get the best out of your team, how to run performance interviews, or how to fire someone, how to hire someone. So all that kind of stuff. So if you're in HR, instead of doing an HR Q&A, you could do something around how to build a high-performing team through hiring great people. And that could be your live every single week. But there you're solving your pain points of your ideal customers, which is probably business owners or directors or something like that, rather than giving them the solution. Because the thing is, most people will come to you thinking they know what they want. And normally what they want is not actually what they need. So the key to doing a successful live is giving people what they need, and kind of providing a solution to them, but also positioning it as what they want. So I hope that makes sense. Reem, this is a great question. How long should a live be? So my lives are always about an hour. And the reason that is because it goes so quickly, guys. I cannot stress you enough. It literally goes in the blink of an eye. So the first kind of half an hour portion, which is, to be honest, I've run this masterclass very similarly to how I would run the LinkedIn lives that I do. The first half an hour typically is me talking about the topic that we're discussing that day. So yesterday it was about content ideas and where to find them, how to document them, and how to turn them into posts. So for the first half an hour, I was talking all about that. And then afterwards, I moved into a Q&A. So for you might want to do half an hour or even 15 minutes, whatever it is, talking about the topic of that live, and then spend the next portion of your live answering questions from people and being interactive, because I think it's really important that you are interactive with the people that are coming to view your live. You want to be able to answer their questions. And here's a hack for you. All the questions that are being asked in your lives, use those as leverage to then figure out what you're going to talk about the following week or the week after that, or for content ideas. Because if people are asking these questions, like you've asked me, how long should a live be? I might do a post tomorrow on how long should your live be, or top 5 tips to going live on LinkedIn. You've just given me a great content idea there. So leverage the questions that you're being asked and turn those into other lives or other content ideas that you can share, and get the most mileage out of your lives as humanly possible. So 45 minutes to an hour, I think, is perfectly fine. 30 minutes if you're just starting out, again, is no problem. But I would say a minimum of 30 minutes, because otherwise what you're doing then is going live so quickly that you're not keeping people long enough on your video to really engage with what it is that you're talking about. So I would do it for an hour to 45 minutes, 30 minutes if you're just starting out. I think that's perfectly fine. And another hack there as well, Reem, and hopefully this will be beneficial to everyone, is if you're concerned that in the initial live, and this is so true, guys, your first couple of lives, you will not have a huge amount of people watching. You might have 10, you might have 8, you might have 20, but initially you won't have a huge amount of people watching, and that's fine. That's no problem at all. But what happens after time is you build up, and then you'll have like 100, 200, etc. So it's all about consistency. It's all about frequency and showing up at the same time every week to do that. But one thing that you can do, if you're not confident you're going to have lots and lots of people in your first couple of lives, is prepare a list of frequently asked questions that you get asked by your customers, or prepare a list of frequently asked questions that you potentially got from your team or whoever it is that you guys are going to be selling to in your lives, like who's going to be your audience, and just have them. So when I did my first couple of lives, I just had my notes section of my phone, and I prepared maybe 15 questions just to make sure I had backup, because I didn't want to be sitting there waiting going, oh no one's asking me any questions. So I came prepared. I made sure I had some backup options in case no one joined, and I didn't look like a lemon. So that's my number one tip when you're first going live, is go in with a list of frequently asked questions that you can answer straight away, so you're not sitting there waiting for people to ask questions. And another hack on that as well is to tell people to ask you questions. So every single person on this live who's been to my lives would have seen that every couple of minutes I'm like, if you want to ask a question, guys, now's your opportunity. Please put a big queue at the front. And that really helps drive engagement, because when one person leaves a question, that gives another person the confidence to ask theirs. And then you kind of get these big flurry of questions. So that's a really good hack to making sure you are getting those questions in. Nicola, this is a really good question. Do you think you can build a community going live once a month and once a week? Honestly, no. I think if you really want to build some like solid community roots, you have to go live once a week. There's no reason why you couldn't mix it up though. You could You could do a solo live once, 1 week. The next week you could have a guest. The week after that, you could have a live takeover. So maybe if you build up a bit of a community, you can invite an influencer from your space to come and take over your live and to mix it up a little bit. But the thing is with going live is the reason why people come to it is because they're coming to listen to you specifically. And I don't think you can build that kind of relationship with people if you're only going live once a month, because people will forget they've got other things that they need to be doing. So showing up every single week at the same time, same place, I think is really, really important to make sure that you're building that community around you. Awesome. Let's see if you've got any more questions, guys. Let's get those answered, and then we're going to go live on LinkedIn, and I'll show you the exact steps that we go through to do it. It is a really, really fun thing. Honestly, I think it's the best thing I've done this year. It's so much fun going live and having this kind of interactive conversation with people. Honestly, it's the best thing you will do. You will crap your pants the first time you go live without being too crude. It's very scary, but the next one you'll be like, I've got this. And honestly, it's just such a thrill. It's such a dopamine hit, and I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to see all you guys go live on LinkedIn as well. Is it best to apply for LinkedIn Live as a member or as a LinkedIn page? So interestingly, I don't have LinkedIn Live as a page. And the reason that is because it's a peer-to-peer platform. It's a people-to-people platform. So LinkedIn's always going to push people's content before it's going to push company content. So for you, Reem, I would rather you did a live on your page than did it on your company page, because there's a much better chance you're going to get good engagement. Lots of people are going to come and follow it. Lots of people are going to show up every week to watch it. If it's from a company page, people can't put a face to a name. Why would they engage with your company? There's very little reason for them to want to do that. So I would definitely do it from your personal page. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is we're actually going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you exactly how we go live on LinkedIn. So I use StreamYard. So if you can all give me a yes, big yes in the comments that you can see my screen, that would be fantastic. Again, what I said earlier was I actually can't see that you guys are what you're seeing. So if you can just let me know that you can see my screen, that would be fantastic. Brilliant. Got lots of thumbs up. That's great. So as you can see here, when you initially sign up to StreamYard, you'll have to enter in a few details. Obviously, I've already got an account. So this is my account sitting here. What you'll need to do is fill in your first name, your last name, your email address, all that jazz. It's 100% free. Caroline has said lost the audio since you went started to share your screen. Can anyone else hear my audio, or is it fine? I got lots of yeses from people being able to hear my screen. So, okay, I think it must be your computer then, Caroline. When you initially sign up for StreamYard, and this is the streaming platform that I use, and I think it's the best. There are other platforms as well. You can use Restream. There's a couple of other ones as well, but I actually think StreamYard is the best for user experience and for simplicity, and it's just very easy to function and very easy to run. So I use StreamYard to stream on my LinkedIn Live. You can also stream to lots of other destinations as well, guys. So at the same time as streaming to LinkedIn Live, you can actually also stream to YouTube, and you can stream to Facebook, and I believe there's another one as well you can stream to as well, but I'll show you all that in a minute. But when you sign up, it's 100% free. You can go up to 6 people as guests free. The only thing that you have that's probably a bit annoying is you have the StreamYard logo in the corner of your lives, and that, unfortunately, to get rid of that, you have to pay. But you can do all your branding, all your colors, all that kind of stuff. So I personally, if you're just getting started with LinkedIn Live, I wouldn't bother going for a paid service. So when you first log in, this is what it looks like. So first of all, we need to add our destination. So you click onto destination, and these are all the options you have. We have Facebook page, Facebook group, Facebook profile, LinkedIn page, LinkedIn event, LinkedIn profile, YouTube channel, Periscope, Twitch. So we're going to first of all, and it's the same process whether you're doing this for a page or a profile, we're going to click profile. And this, guys, you can only do this if you've already been approved, right? So don't bother signing up to StreamYard until you've been approved for LinkedIn Live, okay? So we go on there and we go, yes, connect to LinkedIn. We then sign in, and it will take us through to there. We click allow, and that will all stream. And now I can select my profile, and now that is connected. And we can see there my profile is connected because StreamYard and LinkedIn are now speaking to each other, and we are in a really good spot. So now what we can do is we can create a broadcast. So I want to broadcast to LinkedIn. I'm going to call this How to Go Live on LinkedIn. That's my title of my broadcast. The description is what's going to show in the LinkedIn live text. So when you guys post this onto LinkedIn, it comes up as a post when you're going live. So what you put in the description will be what is in your what is in the text part of that post. So you want to put something there that people know exactly what it is that you're talking about. So we'll go LinkedIn Live, How to Go Live on LinkedIn Masterclass. And this is now what everyone's going to see. We need to make sure it's public. You can schedule it for later, but I'm not, because we're going to go live straight away. You then click create. Now, this is what you can see. Now, there's a few things that I think we should talk about quickly. Number one, make sure you've got a good ring light. You can see here my face is lit up. I have a mic on, so I'm going to edit this and just make sure that my camera is correct. Yes, we've got an HD camera there. Brilliant. And I want to make sure that my mic is selected, not the default MacBook one, because it's not very good. So you can see here my snowballs come through, which is my mic. You can change your name here as well. So you could do Amelia at Klowt, you can just do Amelia at Klowt, whatever it is that you want to put. I always like people to put their name and then the company that they work for, or the company that they own, or the director of, or the founder of, because that really helps drive traffic and get some brand awareness for your company page as well. So once you've done that, you go enter Broadcast Studio. And this is what you see, guys. So every single time you guys come and join my LinkedIn Live, this is the screen that I see. So what we need to do now is, at the moment, I'm not part of the stream. So I need to add myself in. So I'm now into the stream. And if you invite any guests, they will all appear along this little bit here in the same way that I've appeared here too. So if you're going to have a guest, you can just select that so that it knows to pull people through. You can also do this if you wanted to share your screen. And if you want to just share your screen and not your face, you can also select that as well. But for the purpose of this, we're just going to leave it as is. So what happens, the best part of having guests is you can bring them in. So I've just brought myself in. You can then take them out when they're ready to leave. And that is a really great way to bring people in, introduce them, etc. Because you don't really want people to join your masterclass straight away. And you've got two guests there. You want to amp them up. You want to introduce them. You want to let everyone know who they are, what they do, why they're here, what they're going to teach you. And that really helps get everyone involved in the conversation. So once you've done this, you're all set up. You've got your name here. You're in the stream, your light set up. You've got your mic ready to go. We then go up to here and we go live. Now, there is a little bit of a delay when you go live. Welcome to this LinkedIn Live. As you can see here, guys, I am live. And for anyone who is watching this on LinkedIn, we are testing out the LinkedIn Live function. We've got 57 people on an online masterclass right this second who are learning how to go live on LinkedIn. And they're all here watching me go live directly and learning how to do it through StreamYard and how to set up their LinkedIn lives. Now, what is going to happen now is if people can hear me, please leave me a comment, and those comments will start coming through on StreamYard. So hopefully there are a few people online and we'll start getting some comments from people shortly. The thing is about LinkedIn Live is there is a bit of delay. So what happens is you have to initially start talking to people and talking kind of generally like this and just having a bit of a fluff conversation to make sure that you can catch up with the delay, because people cannot. There we go. The comments are coming through now. Thank you so much, Mark. You guys are obviously in the How to Go Live on LinkedIn Masterclass right now. So I'm so pleased that you guys can hear me. So thank you all so much for leaving a few comments. As I said at the beginning of this little LinkedIn Live broadcast, we are doing a How to Go Live on LinkedIn Masterclass right this second for people that are learning to go live on LinkedIn. So I'm going to leave you guys now because everyone has been able to learn now how to do that through Restream. And if you are on LinkedIn right this second and you want to learn a little bit more about LinkedIn Live, just leave me a comment, leave me a big thumbs up, let me know that it's something you're interested in, and I'm might look at doing another How to Go Live on LinkedIn masterclass soon. So I look forward to seeing you all guys later. And don't forget to join me for personal branding Q&A LinkedIn Hacks Live every single Wednesday at 12:15. And we'll see you later, LinkedIn. Thanks. And as you can see, guys, we've now finished the broadcast. So all the questions came through here. Now, the best part about the questions coming through here is you can select ones to answer during your live. And then once you've finished answering that question, you simply hide it and you can move on to the next one. So this is an incredibly powerful way to be able to get people interactive with what it is that you're talking about. And initially, as I said, there is a bit of a delay. So you need to be able to talk to yourself pretty much for 22 seconds to about 60 seconds sometimes. And also let people know that you need to be able to be known that they're coming through loud and clear. And that's a really good way to get a flurry of comments initially. Is to say to people, can you let me know I'm coming through loud and clear? I want to know that this is all happening. So once you've done this and you've had a great live, it's been brilliant. You can see all the comments in here. You can't actually respond to these comments within the StreamYard platform, but you need to go back into LinkedIn to do that in the platform natively. But once you've finished your session, you can say, well, this was great. What a great live. Return to dashboard. And then you can go to past broadcasts. So you can see here all my past broadcasts. If you are using the paid version, you can actually download it onto your desktop, and you can use that as part of your own content. So does anyone have any questions on how to go live on LinkedIn with StreamYard? Because I feel like now would be a really excellent time to answer any questions around StreamYard, around its costs, around ease of use. As you can see there, it's an incredibly easy to use platform. The interface, I think, is very, very friendly. It's very, very easy to use, and it's, as I said, it's completely free for up to 6 guests at a time. So here is a really good question from Laurel. So do you have to click on the question for it to appear on the screen? Yes. So when you're going live and the questions are coming through, you just simply click on them and that will pull it through so that everyone during the live and yourself can see the question that you're asking. And the best part about that is you can actually make notes of people who've asked really insightful questions, and you can drop them a connection request afterwards, and then you just simply click it again and it disappears. And it's really that easy. And I don't believe you can make it's that simple on the other platforms, which is why I did try Restream. I hated it. So I came back to StreamYard. So yeah, it's very easy. You just click the question, much like I'm doing now, but obviously you can't see because I'm using a different platform, but I'm literally just clicking your questions and it's pulling through. When you talk about downloading to your desktop, do you need to be a paid member for that? Yes, you do, Ben. You need to pay the subscription. I believe it's $25 a month, so it's not a huge amount of money. If you do want to go live a lot, I think having a paid version is, I've only just upgraded to give you context, and we've been going live for like 15 weeks now. I've only just upgraded because I want to be able to download that content so that I can then chop it up and turn it into other bits of content that I can share on other channels. So yes, to download, you need to be a paid version. But I think when you're just starting out, do it for free. Learn to get comfortable with it and then worry about it, because all your downloads will be, all your streams will be there in the platform ready waiting for you to download anyway. So if you did it for a couple of weeks and it was very, very good and you loved it and you're like, right, I'm going to upgrade now, all the streams that you've already done will be there ready to download. So you're not going to lose those by upgrading. So I would go for the free version first. Great demo, very clear. Thank you, Paula. I'm so pleased. I was a bit worried. I'm not great at explaining things, so I'm glad I was able to share my screen with you today and show you exactly how to do it. I definitely would recommend StreamYard. As I said, it's simply so simple to use. So I'll ask, as I said, you guys, if you have any questions about how to use StreamYard specifically, now would be a great time to ask them. We have LinkedIn Live license for our company page, and there are 3 admins that have that license. I've downloaded StreamYard in my name and LinkedIn to the company page. Can the other 2 do the same, or would it be better to set up a company StreamYard page and use the same login details? That's a really very good question. I would actually have a centralized company page one, because otherwise people are going to have to log in with your personal details and have access to your personal page. So I would do it from the company page first. if possible. I don't know if that is allowed to do that on StreamYard because I'm the only admin on my company page. So I would definitely look into that. But for me, I would always centralize stuff because you don't want people to have your details to be logging in to the company stream. I regularly, thank you, Victoria, for your question. I've streamed regularly on Facebook, but for another business, not the one I want to promote on LinkedIn. Would it work against me on my LinkedIn application? No, Victoria, definitely include that you've streamed on Facebook. I think that's brilliant. You know, absolutely tell people. And the best part about Facebook and YouTube streams is you can actually paste the link for where you've gone live before into your application. So if I were you, when you're applying, when it says, have you gone live before? You can go, yes. And here, copy and paste your URLs of where you've gone live before to show them that you have. Your application will be absolutely guaranteed to be accepted. I think that's really powerful. Kaylee, this is a really good answer, a really good question. When you go live, is it through your laptop or your mobile? I always go live through my laptop because going live through your mobile would be so finicky trying to answer people's questions. So at least when you go live on your laptop, I can see your questions coming through. I can click on them, I can drag them through, and it's all very clear to me. And I'm not having to kind of like peer in to see what everyone's asking. So I would definitely go live on your laptop if possible. Here's a good question, Mark, from another one from Mark. Random question. I've seen people pre-record live streams and come in at the end for questions. What's your feeling on this? Interestingly, Mark, I had to do this recently for a keynote. So I was asked to do a keynote at the Influencer Marketing Show. And the first initial kind of keynote was recorded. And we then did a Q&A afterwards. I personally don't like doing that because I think it's much more beneficial when it's actually live and you can interact with the people that you're talking to. But I do understand for some people who are nervous or perhaps want to be much more kind of planned and have the ability to do it over if they mess it up. I can completely understand why people do it. My personal opinion is I wouldn't like doing it. I much prefer going live. I think it's much more interactive. People get to know you as a human being rather than just kind of a recording of a human being. But it's each their own. I don't know. I've only ever done that one pre-recorded. So I don't know I'm not sure if that would impact engagement. I suspect it would a little bit because people can tell that it's recorded and not live. So I would always go live, but it's completely up to you guys. I think. This is a good question from Reem about tech. So Reem, what kind of ring light do you recommend? Mic and camera. So the ring light that I use, and I'll actually just pop the link to that in the comments so you guys can see it. I'm going to have to quickly jump onto my Amazon and let you to send you the link. But the one that I use is actually quite expensive. In terms of ring lights anyway, it's quite expensive. I think it's around £80, but I'll just pop the link in the comments so people can buy it. I actually think it's an incredibly good ring light. My recent one just imploded on me during a live, which is why I've had to buy this one. But one of the best parts about the one that I've got here is that you can actually dim it or you can change the lighting of it. So I can dim it down like this if the lighting's different, or I can make it stronger. I can make it more white. I can make it more orange. But one thing I would say is don't buy a cheap one because cheap ones never have the same kind of trajectory of lighting to your face. And having a well-lit face is so important when doing these things to help connect with people. And the second question you've got is mic. So I use this, which is a snowball. I love the snowballs. I think there are a lot of techie people in the world who are probably rolling their eyes at me for having a snowball because it's relatively cheap and quite... it's kind of like a rookie type of thing, but it's £50. I think I got it on Amazon for. Again, I will. I'll send you all the link just in the comments just now so you can see it. But honestly, it's the best investment I've made. It was £54 and it does an incredible job. I've recorded podcasts on it. It's very, very clear. So I've just popped them in the comments there as well. So if you want a ring light, the ring light's in there. If you want to use the snowball's in there too. It's very, very clear. And I absolutely love it. I think it's the best thing I've got. And if you want to do a podcast as well, they're brilliant for podcasting. You just need to have a kind of muffler over the top of it. And that is just perfect. And one tip as well, I would say is if you're going to go live on LinkedIn, I personally don't use headphones unless I've got a guest. When you have a guest, it's really, really good to have headphones because otherwise there can be a bit of feedback. So if you are inviting a guest on, just send them some instructions and say, please use headphones. when you're joining. That really helps reduce the feedback. So the last thing we want to do, guys, is go live and then there'd be this awful echo. So I think headphones are really important if you've got guests. If you haven't got a guest, then that's no problem. You can just use your mic. What story? I'm going to ask this question quickly, and then we're going to get finally onto the monetization bit, how to monetize your LinkedIn, right? We all want to make as much money and as much opportunity as humanly possible. Would LinkedIn stories be a good starter to get used to being live on LinkedIn? I don't know. I think stories is incredibly different to going live on LinkedIn. So stories is exactly the same as Instagram stories. So if you're confident on Instagram stories, you can be confident on LinkedIn stories. They're only 24 hours. You're not interacting with anyone. It's literally you with a selfie in your face, a selfie camera, and going blah, 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 blah. And actually, I think with regards to what they're good for, I think they're really good for hyping things up. So I might do a promo for my live on there. I might do like a little behind the scenes of like, we did a photo shoot last week. I'm actually recording a course tomorrow, which is so exciting. So anyone who wants to know more about our How to Build Your Personal Brand on LinkedIn course, I can't believe I've even been saying that. So this has been the craziest year for me. We are recording it tomorrow. So if you want early bird access, drop me a message and I'd be happy to talk about it with you. But it's one of the most exciting projects I've worked on. It's really, really cool. But we're recording that tomorrow. So I'm going to do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on my LinkedIn stories to give people a little bit of a feel and a flavor for what we're working on. But I think they're very, very different. So if you're wanting to go live on LinkedIn and you want to get used to it, maybe just go live a little bit, like do a little bit of a Q&A, maybe go on some other people's lives. That's how I started. I went on a couple of other people's lives before I even launched mine. And that really helped me get used to doing it. That was really, really good. So if you have any more final questions, guys, let me know before we talk about monetization. I think it would be really important for everyone to know exactly what it is that, the point of this, right? We're all here to make money, to make opportunities, to make sure that everyone is kind of scooping up what this incredible platform has to offer. And LinkedIn Live is an amazing way to do that. And actually, if you haven't got a copy of this already, I have this thing called the Ultimate LinkedIn Playbook. And I literally talk about everything in there, from profile, how to get your profile set up for success, like what content to share, where to get content ideas, how I run my week like a funnel. So at the beginning of my week, I talk about broad topics that will relate to lots of people. The middle of my week, I talk about very specific things that kind of niche people down. And then at the end of the week, I always do a hook post, which is what a sales post, basically. And it's normally a testimonial from a customer or some results that we got, and basically saying, if you want these results, drop me a DM and I'd be happy to help. And I follow that consistently. So I talk about that very detailedly, that's even a word, in the LinkedIn Playbook. So if you want a copy of that LinkedIn Playbook, I've just put the link to it there. Download it now if you haven't got it. It's free, like as with everything that I do, it's free. So download it if you want it. Honestly, I've had the feedback I've had from it, it's been great. So grab yourself the LinkedIn Playbook. And actually, this is a really good opportunity for me to then talk to you about monetizing your LinkedIn lives. So throughout this session today, and if you've ever been on one of my LinkedIn lives before, you will notice that I always say to people, if you want a copy of the LinkedIn Playbook, stick your hands up in the comments and I'll make sure that you guys get a copy. And obviously I can see people have clicked through to that, and that's brilliant. And the reason why I wanted to introduce the LinkedIn Playbook, aside from adding as much value to you guys as humanly possible, was to show you the power of giving the best stuff away for free. Okay, so all my best stuff is in this LinkedIn Playbook. Everything that I've learned about LinkedIn, I've condensed down into a couple of pages that you can then apply straight into your profile, straight into your content, and get ready to rock and roll. And why I've done that is because I know people want this stuff. It's why they come to my LinkedIn Lives. It's why you come to this masterclass. So by me offering up this free document within a live, I am basically converting people. It's the first conversion they are making with me after joining my live. So the first, kind of broadly speaking, the first conversion anyone makes with you is how they follow you. They follow you, they connect with you, all that kind of stuff. The second conversion they'll make is they interact with your content. They interact with your profile. They write a comment, they leave you a like. And then the third thing they'll do is they'll come on to your live, and then they might drop you a DM, etc. So we want to start really converting people off LinkedIn, because what happens is you only have your community and your leads on LinkedIn. You don't own them. You don't own any of your community on LinkedIn. That is a LinkedIn community that you've built around you, but it's all LinkedIn. So what you want to do is start offering up free things during your live to take people off LinkedIn and to sign up to a mailing list. So in this free download, and I hope you guys found it helpful. The feedback, as I said, has been really good of it. We are asking for your email in this to download this product. And I would like to think that this free product is good enough that you would want to give us your email address, because we've put a lot of hard work into it. And the thought that's gone into it has been, if I do say so myself, very thorough. So we've created something that is worth paying for, that we are giving away for free in exchange for your email address. And that takes people off LinkedIn, where you don't own them, to your mailing list, where you own that email mailing list. That is somewhere else. That is not on LinkedIn. So that's how you can start monetizing your LinkedIn. You start putting together these offers, these freebies, these it could be anything. It could be something like this. So when I did the live last week, someone said, oh, I'd love to know how to go live on LinkedIn. I was like, well, that's a great idea. Let's do a masterclass about it. So you guys have now come off LinkedIn and you've come to watch me in a masterclass in a completely different platform. And now we have a whole other relationship. So you're not just part of my community on LinkedIn. You've come off there and you've joined this live to learn something else. So that's how you initially monetize your LinkedIn, is you tell people, you know, if you want a copy of this thing, put your hands up in the comments, and then you make sure they all get a copy of that thing. So it is a bit time investment, but honestly, it's the best thing you can do to get people onto a mailing list. So definitely set up a mailing list if you don't have it already. And then the second thing is, and I mean, we could do a whole other masterclass on email marketing, but the second thing that you can do to monetize your LinkedIn is after you've done it, after you've closed off and you've gone, this was a great live, thank you all so much for joining, I'll see you next week. You then go through your live and you comb through every single comment, every single like, every single thing that has been said, and you identify the people that you think are your ideal customers, and you drop them a connection if you're not connected with them already, and you send them a DM and say, thank you so much for joining my live, I hope you found it helpful. And when you send that message, they will say, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you so much, Katie. This was really helpful. I really enjoyed it. And then you're starting a dialogue with your ideal customer, where you can then convert them into a conversation. You can then convert them into an email. You can then convert them into a sale. So those are the two ways you can convert people off your LinkedIn lives, aside from the obvious things, which is building a community, building brand awareness, and helping people get to know you on a much more intimate level. So if anyone has any questions about converting attention and how to monetize their LinkedIn, please ask them now. I know we're a little bit over. I probably will keep this going for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. If anyone wants to get any questions answered, like right now, I think it would be really powerful to get those questions answered. A lot of you are going to be in the same boat. So it would be good to get those questions answered now before we go. But if you enjoyed this, like, let me know. I love doing these things. Like, as you can probably tell, you know, doing live video is where my absolute favorite place to be. I really enjoy doing lives. Every single Wednesday is like my favorite day of the week, because I get to go live and talk to the gorgeous people like you guys every day. So I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for joining this. I'll just get answering these last little questions. So what is the best platform for mailing lists? I use ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is not the cheapest. It's pretty expensive. I pay about £150 a month for it, or dollars, $150 a month. But the best thing about ActiveCampaign is you can use triggers. And it's very detailed triggers. So when someone enters your mailing list, you can then create an automation of emails that get sent to them, things that get sent to them, and that helps convert them. So ActiveCampaign is incredible if you really want to make money off your email marketing list and you just want to send them like random newsletters every now and again. We'll answer 1 or 2 more questions and then we're going to jump on. I'm actually going to disagree with this one though, because Yasina said MailChimp is good. MailChimp is good only if you want to do really basic stuff. It's very, very basic. And if you want to really make a lot of money out of your email marketing, which, by the way, everyone will tell you that email is dead. It's not. It is the best form of marketing when it's done well that you can possibly do. Sending emails and building your community, building your list, sending them stuff that they find valuable and really educating them is, honestly, you will convert so many more people off your email list if it's done correctly than you would off doing anything like this. So make sure you're getting a list out of your lives if you want to make sure you're converting. So I think I've answered everyone's questions. in case you have any more questions, guys, get them in right now. Otherwise, we're going to go. This has been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for joining this. The attendance on this has been almost 90% throughout the whole thing, which is really, really, really good. I am so excited that I got to do this. I might even do another one sometime soon, but I hope you all got some good takeaways out of this. I hope you are all going to go live. Like, I can't wait to see your lives. When, hands up, who is tell me when you're going to go live? Who is going to be the first person to go live on LinkedIn if they've been approved? I cannot wait to see what everyone gets to talk about. And if you have any questions, of course, oh, Wendy's going live next week. Great. Let's all go watch Wendy's live. That's awesome, awesome, awesome work. So well done, guys. Thanks for staying with me for an hour. I really, really appreciate it. I hope this was helpful. Everyone will get a recording of this sent to their email address afterwards. So if there is anything that you think you missed or you joined late, you should get a recording of this, and it should be able to catch you up and bring you up to speed. So thank you so, so much for joining. Please tell everyone if you enjoyed this. I want more people to come to our LinkedIn lives on Wednesday at 12:15 GMT. And the reason I want more people to come is it helps build this amazing community. Most of you found me on there. So please, 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 tell everyone that you liked this live. Tell everyone that you go to my LinkedIn lives and help me spread that word. I want to help as many people as humanly possible build their personal brands on LinkedIn and start making money, guys. Let's make as much money as possible. So thank you all so much for coming, and have a gorgeous, gorgeous rest of your day. And hopefully I get to see you all guys next week on the Personal Branding Q&A and LinkedIn Hacks Live.